there is a chilling truth that many refuse to face, one buried beneath layers of history, theology, and psychology. What if I told you that the more light you carry within, the darker the forces that come for you? That behind every sleepless night, every betrayal, every setback that feels personal, there is something ancient watching you? No, this is not paranoia. This is the reality for those who have been marked from birth as chosen ones. And the moment you awaken to your true identity, the war begins. But this war isn't new, it's ancient, and so is the pattern. Let's start with a man who many overlook when discussing inner battles, Søren Kierkegaard, the Danish philosopher. He once wrote, "The most painful state of being is remembering the future, particularly the one you'll never have." What he meant wasn't literal, but deeply spiritual. The chosen often feel a haunting sense of potential. They know, somehow, that they were meant for more. This isn't arrogance, it's destiny whispering. But the moment this future becomes clear in your soul, the invisible warlocks of chaos stir. Demonic forces don't strike randomly. They strike those with vision. Because if you can see your path clearly, you might just change the world. You see, the reason demonic forces fixate on the chosen ones isn't because of what they've done. It's because of what they might do. Evil doesn't waste its ammunition on the indifferent. It targets the rare soul who could awaken others, who could expose the illusions of this matrix reality. Think about it. Every major revolutionary, be it Jesus, Joan of Arc, Malcolm X, or Gandhi, was attacked relentlessly not just by men, but by forces that whispered through power structures, through betrayal, and through inner torment. They were not just fighting people. They were fighting principalities. There's a hidden spiritual law that governs this war. Light attracts darkness. Just like a flame attracts moths, your soul's energy field, when elevated, acts like a beacon in the astral world. Entities that thrive in chaos, confusion, and fear are drawn to it. You shine too brightly, and to them, that's a threat. The chosen ones are not merely humans. They are keys. Keys to awakening others, to restoring balance, to shattering systems that thrive on manipulation. And so, these dark forces seek to snuff you out before you realize who you are. But here's the sinister genius of how they operate. They don't come at you like Hollywood demons in red suits with horns. Number. They wear the masks of people you trust. They speak through friends, lovers, even parents. They manipulate emotions. They gaslight. They make you question your worth. They delay your plans, attack your finances, torment your dreams. Because if they can get you to self-destruct, they never have to lay a finger on you. That's the pattern. These forces don't fight fair. They manipulate your wounds, especially the ones you haven't healed. Trauma is their playground. Now let me tell you a story rarely shared outside certain esoteric circles. It's about a boy born during a solar storm in rural Russia who claimed he remembered his past life on Mars. He spoke languages he was never taught, drew complex star systems, and predicted future events with eerie accuracy. But more disturbing than his knowledge was the persecution he experienced, not just from society, but from entities that haunted his sleep, whispered in strange tongues, and paralyzed him at night. His family didn't understand it, but a visiting monk from Mount Athos did. He said, "This child has the flame of remembrance. The dark will try to erase him." The monk wasn't referring to governments or skeptics. He meant spiritual assassins, those who live in the unseen. This story reflects a truth many of you know intuitively. When you were a child, you were different, sensitive, insightful, creative. But somewhere along the line, life started to hurt in ways it didn't seem to hurt others. You experienced loss early, betrayal too. Maybe people feared your potential or mocked your dreams. That's not an accident. It's spiritual sabotage. The pattern is always the same. Target the child before they bloom. Break the seed before it becomes a tree. Because once you grow into who you are, you become harder to control and impossible to stop. The demons that attack chosen ones are not just mythological, they're psychological, emotional, and vibrational. They manifest through fear, addiction, depression, and distraction. They don't want to kill you, they want to neutralize you, make you doubt your light, make you beg for acceptance. That way, you silence your gifts and blend in with the sleepwalkers, because a silenced chosen one is more dangerous than a dead one. Why? Because you still carry the code, the knowledge, the power, but you no longer believe in it. You become a sleeping giant. But here's what they didn't expect. Pain is a forge, and chosen ones are steel. The more you're attacked, the more pressure you're placed under, the more your core hardens with purpose. Every betrayal sharpens your discernment. Every loss deepens your compassion. And every demonic whisper becomes background noise to your divine mission. That's the paradox. In trying to destroy you, they end up activating you. Because the only thing stronger than light is light forged through darkness. Look at the lives of modern visionaries who broke free from toxic systems. Many report strange patterns, sudden health issues before breakthroughs, dreams of shadowy figures, spiritual fatigue, or sudden isolation. They describe feeling watched, targeted, misunderstood. It's not coincidence, it's surveillance. When your vibration reaches a certain frequency, you start pinging on the radar of astral parasites. You become too awake for the game, and that's when the gloves come off. You must understand, this isn't about fear, it's about awareness. If you know the enemy's tactics, you don't get blindsided. If you know that isolation is a weapon, you learn to use solitude for inner growth. If you know that attacks often precede breakthroughs, you learn to lean in instead of backing down. This is spiritual jujitsu. Let their force become your momentum. Because the truth is, you're not just being attacked, you're being tested. And every test is a doorway disguised as difficulty. This is why chosen ones often walk alone. Not because they're unloved, but because the path they walk is sacred. Your soul signed up for this before you were born, and deep down, you knew it wouldn't be easy. But you also knew this: you carry what others can't. You hold a frequency that this world needs, and that's why they come for you. Not because you're weak, but because you're divine. To truly understand why demonic forces relentlessly pursue the chosen ones, we need to explore the ancient cosmic contracts that bind our existence. These contracts are not always visible on a material level, but govern much of the spiritual warfare we face. According to many mystics and esoteric traditions, long before we take human form, our souls agree to play a particular role in the grand drama of existence. The chosen ones agree to carry burdens most will never comprehend. Challenges designed to awaken humanity, but at great personal cost. In these agreements, dark forces accept a grim contract to test, torment, and try to extinguish the light bearers before they fulfill their mission. This cosmic contract creates a battlefield not just on Earth, but on multiple spiritual planes. The demonic entities, often misunderstood as pure evil, act more like enforcers of this agreement, though many have broken free and now act from pure malevolence. They are drawn to disrupt the flow of awakening because they thrive in stagnation and despair. Every moment the chosen one steps closer to realizing their purpose, the enemy intensifies their attacks, weaving layers of confusion and pain designed to keep them trapped in cycles of doubt. But the pattern doesn't end with external attacks. The most dangerous arena for these forces is the internal battlefield, the mind. This is where they implant the seeds of self-doubt, guilt, shame, and fear. They know if they can break your mind, your spirit will falter. Here, they utilize illusions, whispering lies that you are unworthy, weak, or alone. This internal assault is often the most debilitating because it is invisible, and many chosen ones face it in silence. Yet, Understanding this is crucial. The greatest victory in this war is reclaiming your mind and reprogramming it with truth. To counter this, many spiritual warriors turn to what can be called the ancient science of discernment. This is a skill that can be cultivated, learning to recognize when thoughts are your own and when they are foreign implants. Philosophers from many traditions have touched on this, but none more clearly than Epictetus, the Stoic master. He taught that while we cannot control external events, we can control our responses. The Chosen One embodies this truth by not giving power to the voices of fear and doubt, no matter how loud they become. Another layer of protection comes from what indigenous wisdom calls soul armor. This isn't physical armor, but a vibrational shield created through practices like meditation, prayer, ritual, and connection to the natural world. It's a state where your energy resonates at a frequency that repels negativity. The Chosen Ones must learn to cultivate this daily, for it acts like a barrier against spiritual parasites. But soul armor is only as strong as the self-love and inner peace that fuels it. It requires deep, often painful inner work, facing shadows without flinching and integrating broken parts of the self. Here lies a paradox. The very forces that attack the Chosen Ones also serve as catalysts for their evolution. Every spiritual trial has a hidden gift, a chance to transcend previous limitations. The dark forces, while relentless, inadvertently push you towards higher awareness. They force the awakening of inner strength and wisdom that no easy path could provide. The Chosen One's journey is a crucible, burning away falsehoods and forging a soul that shines with unbreakable light. It's important to note that this battle is not fought alone. Many Chosen Ones discover allies in unexpected places: angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and even other awakened souls who form a network of unseen support. This cosmic alliance strengthens the Chosen Ones, reinforcing their mission with divine energy. In fact, recognizing and embracing this support is a key step in breaking the cycle of isolation. Remember, light attracts light, just as darkness attracts darkness. In the final stages of the pattern, the demonic forces often escalate their tactics. This escalation can come in the form of profound spiritual attacks, physical illness, or social exile. These are designed to push the Chosen Ones to the brink, forcing a critical choice: succumb to despair or rise in transcendence. Those who rise activate a power that the dark forces dread, the power of surrender combined with unwavering faith. This is the ultimate weapon, an energy that breaks chains, dissolves fear, and ignites the collective awakening. But what does this transcendence look like? It is not the dramatic fireworks of popular culture. Instead, it is quiet, steady, and profound. It is the realization that the Chosen One is not defined by their trials, but by their ability to keep moving forward despite them. It is the transformation of pain into purpose, darkness into light. It is the reclamation of the soul's sovereignty. For those who feel this battle raging inside, know this: you are not alone and you are not losing. Every attack you endure is a sign that you are on the right path, that your light is powerful enough to challenge the status quo of this world and the unseen realms. Embrace your role with courage, cultivate your inner strength with intention, and build your soul armor with relentless devotion. In closing, the hidden pattern of why demonic forces target the Chosen Ones is a sacred call to awaken to your true nature. You were never meant to blend into the crowd or shrink in the face of adversity. You were born to challenge darkness, not just around you but within. By understanding this pattern, you gain the keys to rise above it, transforming attacks into fuel for your spiritual mission. The forces that seek to destroy you are ultimately powerless against a Chosen One who knows their worth, guards their mind, and walks forward with unshakable faith. So rise, Chosen One. The war is fierce, but your light is fiercer, and the world, whether seen or unseen, is waiting for you to claim your throne.